Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Meow meow to everyone. All right, I didn't know I was going to be doing it this soon. I was like, oh, I'll see you on Monday. Nah, but I always do say, unless some shit gets crazy. Well, some shit has in fact gotten crazy, so I want to talk about it. Let's see. I hope everybody's doing good. Let's see. Actually, I thought the news out of Syria was fantastic. It is not fantastic. It is never a fantastic situation when the U.S. and Israel have hired Al-qaeda to go after somebody else. It's not good. It's definitely not good. And every time we do this, Saddam, I'm not saying they're good guys, but if you that fuck with the balance, things happen. You know, Saddam, okay, bin Laden was not actually a dictator. He was just some dude in a cave, but still. Gaddafi, you end up having a power vacuum, and then you end up with ISIS and other fucking shit going on. So, not good. I mean, it's like people who hunt wolves, but like if they hunt all the wolves, then the deer grow out of control and it becomes a mess. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you need a manageable monster to keep other monsters in check. So that is why I think it is not fantastic. Plus, our government lies, our media lies, and that's the only two things that tell us that, you know, Assad's bad. The same people who think genocide is good. I hope so, but that's not what's circulating right now. I think that's supposed to be Kapla. So Kapla to you as well. All right, let's get into some shit. Let's see, 20% screen. So we got this mess. Syria's terrorism threat could spread to Iraq and Iran. Of course it fucking will. Because the rich wage war is the poor who die. It's good for population control, and the elites keep getting money. I mean, when 9/11 happened, boy, the Republicans and the Democrats were just whacking off to the idea that they could force us the Patriot Act and all this other shit. How is it that when some terrorist shit happens, we're the ones that get punished somehow? Let's see. All right, let's make it to where we can read the thing, because I don't think it has words. But yeah, the dragging the statue head. Yeah, you know, Al-Qaeda and ISIS have come to town and they start tearing up landmarks and destroying statues and things like that. They did that in the 2012, 2014s and shit. They were tearing up like some ancient Sumerian statues and shit. So yeah. And it's wild. A lot of the people cheering for this are the same people who complain about having Civil War statues taken down. It's very odd. I guess it's okay with someone else's statue. I don't know. Iran accuses U.S. and Israel of plotting Syrian terrorism. Absolutely. I did too. I still do. Syrian and Iraqi leaders joined forces to fight spreading HTS, which I guess is that fucking Al-Qaeda adjacent fucking thing. And look at that! Look how dirty those trucks are. They look like they've been muddy in Oklahoma. It's crazy. It's probably one of the first times ever we've ever seen any kind of Al-Qaeda rebel force come in somewhere, and they're all doing like selfies and like photo ops. So fucking weird. Iranian foreign minister, I can't pronounce that, says that Syria becoming a haven for terrorists is a major threat to the region. Correct, it is. Let's see. He's got a tweet here that says important talks with President Assad, a straightforward, constructive discussion with the foreign minister Fidan, Fidan, not Biden, Fidan, or is it Fidden? I don't know. My trip from Damascus to Ankara was among rare direct flights. All agreed no one benefits from another war in Syria. Conflict carries 100% guaranteed spillover of terrorism into whole neighborhoods. As always, Iran stands with the Syrian people, government, and army in their fight against terrorism. Isn't that weird? Because at least 20 years ago, we pretend to fight terrorism too. Now we're supporting it. We're hiring them to go and overthrow somebody else. Even though, I mean, that's always what we kind of did. But at least we pretended we were fighting terrorism. Iran calls for support of Syria in fight against Takfiri terrorists, urging a non-discriminatory approach to terrorism. You know, I don't remember what show it was. It was some British show, and they were making fun of Yahtzees. And it was like this little chubby guy. And I'm sitting here thinking about that line from that movie or that show or whatever it was. Because, you know, you got Iran and Syria wanting to fight terrorism. And we and Israel and CIA and all that are busy hiring terrorists to go overthrow governments while there's a genocide going on. And that makes me think of that show I was saying. I'm like, are we the baddies? Because I think we are. Oh, hold on. I think the cat's trying to get into the fucking cake. Get off the table, you furry fuck. Sorry about that. Anyway, the first message is to support the Syrian government and the people in the fight against Takfiri, whatever, terrorist group. The role of the Zionists in designing the conspiracy should not be overlooked. Amen. Iran has always supported the Syrian government, the people in their fight against terrorist groups, and will continue to do so with all its might. And I, didn't read fast enough. And what I find interesting is the UN designates this terrorist group at NUSRA front as a terrorist group. Oh, they designated them as a terrorist group, even though I thought the UN was helping them do this, because the article we saw last night said that they were. So I'm a little confused by what we're hearing here or seeing. It's also funny because Israel was claiming that the UN was terrorists. But I'm coming to the conclusion, oftentimes the bad guy will accuse you of what they themselves are actually guilty of. Instead of just shooting bullets into the air. That is so fucking stupid, because one, bullets are going to come down eventually. But I always think it's looks like such an 80s cliche of like Middle Eastern terrorists when they do that. I feel like this is definitely for like, effect. Meow to Lady Mist. Hey, Sonder, how are you? Hello, Miss Frosty. Yeah, they destroyed an ancient Buddha statue on the face of a mountain. Yep, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. It's exactly what's going on. And remember, like, oh, that's right, a shit ton of money went missing. The Pentagon. The Pentagon had failed their 7th audit last month. It was either October or September. They failed their 7th audit in a row. what was it? Their seventh consecutive. I don't know if you've seen that Cat Williams movie, but you know what a consecutive is? One right after the motherfucking other. And like fucking tons of money was fucking missing. I bet it went and paid for this bullshit right here. Iraqi security forces and resistance movement remain vigilant against the threat of terrorism spreading from Syria. Maybe this is why they fucking hate us, because we fucking do this shit. And this is the most upfront I've ever seen, because I think the last 25, 20 something years we were in Afghanistan and Iraq. This was the stupidity. We created a war, funded it, killed a bunch of people. And now we're doing it again. Except now, unlike back in like 2001, 2002, now we got TikTok, we got YouTube. We're seeing things more like as it's happening. I've never seen a war streamed like this. America should know, or the U.S. government should know it fucked up when Iraq is securing its border to prevent terrorism from us. It's insane. Next article. J.D. Vance issues a warning about Syrian rebels after Assad ousted. Well, you know what? That's the smartest thing I've heard him fucking say. It is. Because he's kind of weird, and he runs out an eyeliner like he's trying to be the bad Captain Kirk in that one episode where he was like an evil him and a good him. Yeah. But you know what? Couch fucker here is right. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance raises concerns on Sunday about the Syrian rebels who have ousted Syria's authoritarian leader, Assad, saying that some of the rebels are an offshoot of ISIS. Well, I mean, if anyone is drawing any distinctions between ISIS and Al-qaeda, I believe it's more Al-qaeda. But the man's not far off base here. I mean, this should be very concerning. And I don't know what Trump's take on this situation is, because I haven't quite looked yet. Is that a ride? I think it was a water wheel type thing. It looked kind of like a water wheel thing, because I saw that little Ferris wheel looking thing too. But yeah, he's right to be worried. God, there's some stoners coughing in this house. Damn. Assad's regime collapsed this weekend after a stunning turnaround after nearly 14 years of conflict. Yeah, because the U.S. and Israel destroying a fucking bunch of other places. Okay, I'm gonna have to close my door because damn, hacking coughing. Got stoners back there. It sounds like a tuberculosis ward of the hospital. Oi. The deposed Syrian leader reportedly fled the country as rebels took control of the major Syrian city of Homs, as well as the capital Damascus. Various rebel groups continue to operate in Syria with different regional and international allies. The principal rebel group that has led the charge to depose, may not be far off, depose Assad in the recent days is, well, just call him Al-Sham. That's just going to be a lot easier. Which comes out of Al-qaeda, which is designated as a U.S. terrorist organization. Al-Sham was formerly known as Al-Nusra Front. So yeah, J.D. Vance is right to be worried. This isn't good. Now, this article right here, this is from the other day. I showed this to you guys last time. And right here, Israel's warplanes attack targets on Syrian territory. Assad's insistence on remaining neutral in Israel's war with Hezbollah even led to Biden administration giving serious thought to restoring ties with the regime in return for Damascus ending its long-standing alliance with Iran. So they have gone after a man who has repeatedly insisted on remaining neutral in Israel's war. The fact that they even admitted that he wasn't trying to get involved. The thing is, there's a lot of commerce to be done. They want a pipeline because they don't want to necessarily count on Russia for oil. So they know that they can run a pipe going. I forget where the location is, but the place it would be going through, I think it was like Saudi Arabia, Turkey. I don't know. but the pipeline would be going right through the middle of Syria. And there's other reasons. They have also lots of minerals and other shit they'd want to take too. So, but yeah, even the news is saying the man was trying to remain, neutral. He wasn't trying to be involved. Oh, and let me play a video for you. Hold on. I have to. Who are we defending? I'm defending the fact that we shouldn't have been there. That we should not be paying a terrorist organization because we keep fucking doing this shit. I mean, that's how we got Al-qaeda in the first place. We created them to run the Soviets out of Afghanistan. And then what happened? It came back and bit us in the ass. We keep fucking doing this. And who says that happened? I mean, let's be honest about it. Who said? Our government? Our news that lies to us about everything? I mean, the ones that tells us that, it was somehow Iraq and Afghanistan that caused us to have 9/11, even though we know it was an inside job. The same people that lied to us about everything. And besides, they've been saying he's dropped chlorine bombs or chemical weapons. For the last 15 years, they've claimed the same thing over and over again without any show of evidence. Remember, we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan because we thought there was weapons of mass destruction, and there wasn't. We get the same lies again and again. Okay, so we have to go back a few years. Nothing Syria or Iraq. That's why the U.S. is there. The U.S. shouldn't be there. Iraq was destabilized by Bush when he should have been focusing on Afghanistan. Yeah, and so point is, we're getting into shit we have no business getting into because they want the oil, the minerals, and a pipeline that goes through Syria. They'll say anything to get these things. Let me see. Need to find where. Gotta. I don't know why I see the video so I can share it for you. The particular, there it is. This is so dumb.
Reports are emerging that Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's plane has crashed shortly after leaving Damascus, sparking widespread speculation and uncertainty about his fate.
Yeah, they have been trying to kill him for years. And if he was already trying to leave and resigned, killing a man who has given up and is leaving is bullshit. That is a fucked up thing to do. And I found that so upsetting. I was like, you got to be kidding. Like, all our government wants to do is go around killing people for what they want. And of course, they can't leave him alive because, God forbid, he might go tell somebody what truly happened. And of course, now the Israelis, they're pushing their propaganda. The fall of Assad revives interest in judeo-syrian Arabic, Syrians' nearly lost Jewish dialect. So they're trying to find some kind of little thing to put their foot in the door to say, hey, look, we have a right to this land now, too. And they're going to keep doing that. They're just going to spread like a cancer. But let's read the propaganda. The fall of Assad regime on Sunday, after years of civil war and opposition unrest, has brought a new focus on Syria's cultural heritage. Among the many stories resurfacing in the wake of this historical moment is the Judeo-Syrian Arabic, a nearly extinct dialect central to Aleppo and Damascus Jewish communities. They're going to tell you that that's also their promised land, of course. Judeo-Syrian Arabic is a linguistic relic of Syria's Jewish past, blending the Levantine Arabic spoken by the majority population with Hebrew and Aramaic elements. For centuries, it was no one's communication, but lands of cultural and religious identity for Syrian Jewry. The Jewish community of Syria has ancient roots tracing back to the Babylonian exile in 586 BC. Over time, Jews adapted to the Arabic dialects of their neighbors, but Judeo-Syrian Arabic stood apart in its incorporation into Hebrew and Aramaic. So I think it's interesting they're publishing this right after. That way it's kind of like, see, we've been there before, so it's okay for us to take this. Israel invades Syrian demilitarized zone amid collapse. Of course, right on fucking time. Right on time. Israel has already said the day before, as rebels swiftly advance across Syria, that its soldiers have entered the UN-patrolled buffer zone to assist. I love how they give it quotes. Assist. Peacekeepers. Really, peacekeepers, really. The UN, I'm assuming UN because we got UN-patrolled buffers. Weren't they giving UN soldiers shit about a month or two ago, shooting at them and stuff in Lebanon? On Sunday, the army announced a troop deployment there, citing the possible entry of armed individuals into the buffer zone. Following the recent events in Syria, the IDF has deployed forces into the buffer zone and several other places necessary for its defense. I do not want someone to invade my country and tell me it's for my own good. To ensure the safety of the communities of the Golan Heights and the citizens of Israel, a military statement said. It's funny how everybody thinks that you got to go far away from your home to protect your home all the time. Israel forces will continue to operate as long as necessary in order to preserve the buffer zone and defend Israel. Yep, as long as they say it's for defending Israel, they can get away with doing anything they want and killing whoever they want. The Israeli military also claimed that it's not interfering with internal events in Syria. They literally choreographed it. Are you kidding? They're not interfering. Bruh, y'all fucking made it happen. Y'all been wanting him, and now you fucking got what you wanted. Now for a tiny bit of different news. Google is placed under federal supervision by Consumer Finance Protection Board. Honestly, Google has gotten way too big for its britches. So, it's about time somebody tried to rein that thing in. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has announced it placed Google Pay Corp under federal supervision. In return, Google has filed a lawsuit to block that order, which would impose routine inspections and monitoring akin to those faced by banks and other financial institutions. The CFPB recently gained jurisdiction of payments and digital wallet services. It announced its actions against Google on Friday. The move by the CFPB came after it claimed Google's error resolution and fraud prevention process posed a risk to consumers. Specifically, the agency cited complaints about Google's pay balance and Google's peer-to-peer payments. It contends that Google investigations into fraudulent charges fell short. Ooh, someone's going to hold Google to task. It's about fucking time. All right, lots of hugs, Putin cat. Be good. But yeah, I'm glad to see somebody's doing something about Google. Google is just like this multi-headed monster that has grown completely out of control. All right, next article. Now this, I'm wondering if this is somebody that's on the P. Diddy list. Executive of Tyler Perry Studios dies when plane he was piloting crashes in Florida. And that thing must have just dropped right out of the fucking sky. I was sitting there looking at it. It must have just nosedived, landed on its nose, and then fell over. But damn. The president of Atlanta-based Tyler Perry Studio died Friday night when a small plane he was piloting crashed on Florida's Gulf Coast. The studio confirmed Saturday that Steve Mensch, a 62-year-old president and general manager, had died. We are incredibly saddened by the passing of our dear friend, the studio said in a statement. Steve was a cherished member of our team for more than 8 years and well beloved in the community of Atlanta. Now, I heard that Tyler Perry did have some interactions with Diddy, so I'm wondering if this guy also did, and that's why he ended up dead. It's the first thing that came to my mind. Definitely curious if we're going to hear anything else about it, because this is like the third or fourth person that could be connected to Diddy that is dead. So I think so. All right, next article. This is some weird shit. Going once, going twice, nominated. Meet auctioneer Billy Long, Trump's unlikely IRS pick. He's fucking playing games with us. Trump is trolling us. He can't be serious. He's been picking some, I mean, he picks, what's that wrestler guy? McMahon? Yeah, picks his wife to be in charge of education. And, fucking auctioneer to be in charge of the IRS. Fucking weird ass shit. Most House Republicans these days are loyal to Trump. Few have been so ostentatiously loyal as Billy Long, a jovial Missouri auctioneer who is the president-elect's pick to run the IRS. Before leaving Congress in early 2023, Long walked around Capitol Hill distributing fake $45 bills featuring Trump's picture. That's a little bit weird. He hangs on a striped tie signed by Trump, and Long wore at a Nevada event early in Trump's campaign. Trump has pointed out publicly that Long was one of his first endorsers, encouraging people to board what they call the Trump train. Oh, he's the one that came up with that. Yeah, it can't be serious though. This seems like some weird shit. Next article. Oh, fucking boy. So that disease we talked about either last live stream or the one before that, where there's this like really fucked up disease running around the Congo. Well, it's spreading, at least a little bit. A man returning from the Congo who presented flu-like symptoms potentially attributed to the disease that is affecting a region of the African country was hospitalized in Lucca in recent days and has already been discharged. Well, that's at least a good sign. Maria Compitelio, I guess, head of the prevention department of the Ministry of Health, said Sunday. The patient was hospitalized in St. Luca Hospital in Lucha, I guess, from November 22nd to December 3rd. The day he was discharged because he had recovered. So, yay, yeah, apparently, yeah. And what's odd is like, So, like, apparently on Friday, some 140 people were reported to have died from the mysterious disease in the Congo. But this guy goes to the hospital, gets fixed up, and he survives. It sounds like that maybe the people in the Congo aren't getting treatment like they're supposed to be. Maybe the sickness was given to them, and there's, I guess, as an experiment to see how they do without giving them treatment. Because, you know, we've heard that kind of stuff happening before. Anyway. I guess that's going to be a fairly short live stream this time. Oh, and humorously enough, just to mention that CEO business again, our idiot governor here in Oklahoma, because he's a corrupt piece of shit. And in fact, he's, like I've said before, he got stupid fucking animals knocking shit over. Anyway, but he's done dumb stuff. He even got in trouble for doing shady mortgages and stuff like that. And I think Arkansas won't let him do business there anymore. So apparently him, of all people, it's awful seeing people celebrate the death of the United Healthcare CEO after he was assassinated. It's a tragedy. We're all Americans. Let's learn to disagree better. Really? And I like this guy's response. That man had more American blood on his hands than Osama bin Laden. And you want us to feel bad? LOL. Get fucking real, dude. What comes around goes around. And I didn't think about that, but that guy probably turned down a lot of people's medicines and surgeries that they needed. In fact, it was rumored that at least 39% of the claims that went in were refused. And they used an AI to do it. And there's rumors that it was even higher, up to 90% failure rate in the AI system. So he most likely did kill more people than Osama bin Laden. So no, I don't feel bad for that fucking CEO. I think we need more of it. Anywho. All right. Got that out of my system. I feel better. And we managed to do that in less than 30 minutes. I am amazed. Seems kind of weird. Well, all right. Well, I got that out of my system. So I may or may not see y'all tomorrow since I got some of that done. But hey, we shall find out. Anyway. So, hug to Putin Cat and hug to Lady Mist and hugs to Gorilla and Sonder and Miss Frosty. It is awesome. I love y'all. Let's get our little song ready. And I shall see y'all later.
Welcome to the ship show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, got the fuck. And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, politics.